Hi everybody and welcome to HeadStart into History. My name is Nicola. You won't be seeing anything of me. I'm sat behind the scenes just making sure that everything is going according to plan. Just so you know, the session is being recorded so we can use it for future use. If you have got any questions at any point during the session, do feel free to put them in the Q&A box and Zoe will be able to kind of talk you through them at the end of the session. I will pass over to Zoe, who will introduce herself to you and give you a bit of a talk about history at Leicester and the big chance for questions at the end. So Zoe, over to you.
Thank you, Nicola, and welcome to everybody who's joining us today and to those who may be listening to this at some point in the future. I'm Zoë Groves. I'm a lecturer in the School of History, Politics and International Relations, and I'm a historian. And I'm also the admissions tutor for history. So what I'm going to do today is to give a quick recap of what the Head Start programme is all about, and then tell you a little bit more about what we've got going on at the university at the moment, and also give you some tips and ideas of things that you can be doing between now and September if you're especially keen to get started early in thinking about how to prepare for your degree. I'll also give you a bit of an insight into what you can expect from the history programme during what we call Welcome Week, so the first week that you arrive, and what will be going on in semester one to support you in the transition that you're making, be that from school or A-levels to university or from whichever background or kind of current occupation you're coming from. So I'll just recap first of all with, if I can move my slide along, yep. So hopefully by now you're all familiar with the Head Start programme. The idea here is that this is to provide you with some additional resources which are all conveniently located in your offer holder hub, so you can find out all these different sessions. Some are subject specific, like the one we're doing today, others more general sessions that can help support you in the end of your school studies and to better prepare you for the start of your university studies. New activities will be added to the Head Start Hub between May and July, so keep an eye on your emails. Some of the events will be live, like the one today. Those live events are recorded so you can access them at a later point. And just to flag up as well that we are really pleased to now be able to offer you campus tours. So if you haven't been able to come and visit us yet at the university, do have a look and book on to one of our campus tours. And hopefully I might be able to meet you in person as well if you have any further questions about the subject. So this is how we're going to help you get a head start. Between May and June, there'll be some live and on-demand content added to the offer holder hub. Also these VIP campus tours that I've just mentioned. Between July and August, there'll be further events as well as an opportunity to meet with some of our current students and more chances to visit the campus. And then once you register, you'll have early access to some of the IT systems, and there'll be various sessions going on offering you further advice about what will be coming in September, and also helping to familiarise you with some of the IT platforms and systems that we'll be using, and that will be a really integral part of your studies. For example, the Blackboard site that which is the place where we put all of our information related to your modules. Just a couple of points on accommodation. So just to make sure that you're aware, once you've accepted our offer, then you can choose a room. It's possible to come and have a tour of the two main accommodation sites, either in the village in Odeby or in the city. So there's something there for everyone, depending on what kind of location you're looking for. I won't say too much more about the accommodation, but again, there are accommodation talks and information sessions that you can listen to in the Head Start Hub. So do go over to that for more information about the accommodation. 2021 actually marks 100 years since we first admitted, or since we admitted our very first student cohort to the university. So over the past few years, we've been working towards our centenary celebrations, which culminate this year in 2021. As part of those centenary celebrations, we're offering new scholarships for 2021 to 22, which are called the Citizens of Change Scholarship. And this marks 100 years since the university opened. To apply for one of these scholarships, the opportunity to receive the £7,500 for UK and EU students. So it's £2,500 a year for the 3 years of study. So a very good discount on your tuition fees, or 50% off your first year tuition fees for international students. To apply for one of these scholarships, all you need to do is record a video, 60 seconds maximum, in response to the question, what do you want to change? So do check out details for those scholarships and make sure that you get your applications in before the deadline of the 10th of June. So a bit more specific advice now on history at Leicester. Hopefully by now you will have heard me perhaps give a talk at an open day, or maybe you attended one of our offer holder day sessions. But if not, don't worry. I can still answer your questions about the course and hopefully help you to decide if Leicester is the place for you to study history. So in terms of student welfare and support, what I would say first of all is that our history community at Leicester is very friendly, and we really pride ourselves on being approachable and working very closely with our students. So as staff, as historians who teach you, we make ourselves available. We endeavour to reply quickly to your emails, but we also like you to contact us and to reach out to us and to come and see us, just to let us know how you're getting on at any point throughout your studies. Your personal tutor is the person who will be allocated to you in your first year. Your personal tutor will be a historian, one of the lecturers, one of the staff in history at Leicester. And your personal tutor is the first person that you can go to if you have any questions about the course, any particular modules that you want to discuss in more detail. If you have any concerns or worries, your personal tutor will be able to signpost you to some of the other support services and welfare services available across the campus. So we have the student welfare, the Accessibility Centre. Accessibility is there to support any students with particular learning difficulties or disabilities. We have academic skills tutors, and you can book one-to-one study consultations with those tutors so they can support you further in your studies. We have the Student Union support. There's also the Student Union Advice Service and the Career Development Service. So there's these are general kind of campus-wide services that are there for all students, in addition to the ones that we have based locally within our particular school. So how can you get ready for the start of term? Well, I've included here a suggested reading list. So if you are keen, if you find yourself with a bit more time over the summer or between now and September, do have a look at this. We've included there some items, some particular books, articles, a few links to different websites that relate to some of the core modules that you'll be taking in semesters 1 and 2 of your first year, but also that some reading that can help to give you a flavour or an idea of what it's like to study some of the other areas that we teach in. So there's some suggestions of reading on Indigenous histories, colonial history, European history, many other areas as well. So do have a look at the suggested reading list if you're keen to get stuck into some reading that directly relates to our modules. Another thing you might do is look out for any history-related events that are happening in your particular community. I know some of you are already based in Leicester. Others might be living in villages or towns or other cities across the country or even beyond in other parts of the world. Are there any topical issues in the news that relate to history that you can follow? Are there any public history talks, exhibitions, events happening in your home area that you can attend? Essentially, we recommend that you immerse yourself as fully as you can in anything historical and anything historical that piques your interest. So do keep an eye out for those kind of public debates, and those news items. History tends to be hotly debated in the news and in current affairs. Ultimately, though, I just want to emphasize that you really don't need to worry about doing anything before the start of term. We will look after you when you get here, and we will guide you in the beginning of this new phase in your academic career. We don't expect you to know at this stage how it's all going to work. It's our job to make it clear for you what's happening. And obviously part of this program, the Head Start program, is to give you a bit more of an insight into what will be happening in September. And hopefully that will just make you feel a bit more confident about beginning your studies in September, particularly after the very disrupted year or more that many of you have had. So how do we support you in the transition to degree level study? Well, the core modules that we offer in our semester one are there to introduce you to a wide range of historical periods, places and approaches. As I just said, we don't expect you to have any knowledge in these areas already, and the way that we teach these with additional lectures and additional drop-in sessions, these core modules, is designed to really sort of help kind of fill that gap, I suppose, that leap that from studying history at school to history at degree level. Studying those core modules and introducing you to these new topics is also a way for you to start to have an idea of what kind of option modules you might want to choose in semester 2 and as you go on in your degree in second year and third year. We also put on a number of skills-based modules and workshop sessions. So for students taking the single honours degree programme, there's a module called Making History that you will all take, and that's a module that you will take and be taught by your personal tutor. So an extra opportunity to spend time getting to know your personal tutor. But essentially, if for joint degree students as well, there are workshop sessions, and what the skills-based module and these workshop sessions are designed to do is to break down what a history essay looks like and what studying history at degree level entails. So we'll be discussing things such as how to compile a bibliography, what is a bibliography, why is referencing important, and how do we reference, how do you use footnotes, all of those kind of essential skills and aspects of producing historical writing at university level. So again, we don't assume that you know how to do that already. We have these sessions and a module that are designed to provide you with that information. Another point to make is that in all your first year assignments, you will, and the same is true throughout your second and third year, you'll receive really detailed feedback. And the idea is that this will feed forward, that this will support you in going forward in your studies. So it's really important to look carefully through the feedback that you get from your assignments and to think about, okay, not just those comments won't just apply to how you could have improved perhaps or done differently something in that particular piece of work. But that feedback is designed to give you ideas on how to better develop certain skills and approaches to work that you'll be doing in the future. It's also reassuring for students to learn that the marks that you get in your first year will not count towards your final degree classification. So you do need to pass all of your modules in your first year. But if you don't do as well as perhaps you might have hoped, then really don't worry, because it won't in any way have an impact on your final degree classification. That said, of course, it's really important that you put in as much effort and work hard in your first year. But especially if you're concerned about the sort of disruptions that you've faced over the past year, and that you might not start university achieving the kind of grades that you feel like you're capable of, it won't have a negative impact on your degree overall. So what happens at the start of term? Well, we have what we call a welcome week. So the first week, you just have an opportunity really to meet people, to find your way around. You'll be introduced to other students within the School of History, Politics and International Relations. You'll meet with the head of school, the student experience team. So they're the people who organise a whole number of events, both social events, but also additional sort of workshops and study skills events to support you in your studies, to talk about careers and so on. You'll also meet with your personal tutors, and there'll be a number of social events going on in that welcome week. It might be sort of pub style quizzes, city walking tours, as well as the opportunity to attend some roundtable discussions. And what I mean by that is listening to people like me and some of my colleagues having a conversation with one another about a topical issue. So in the past, I think last year, we had a series of events focused on the American elections, for example. The first classes that you will have in your first week of your studies are really there as introductory sessions. So they will set out very clearly for you the aims of the module, the objectives of the module, what you should be hoping to achieve in studying for the module. They'll give you information about how to organise your time in terms of your independent study hours, as well as making sure you're aware of when your lectures are happening, where you need to go for your lectures, and the same with the smaller group teaching events, the seminars. Again, no assumptions are made about your knowledge of the topic for any of these modules, so don't worry if you're completely new to this particular period of history that you're studying in one of these modules. And just to make things a little bit easier and smoother for you in your first year and first semester modules, all of the materials that you'll be needing to read, or the reading materials, are provided for you online. That said, if you can get to the library and make use of some of the study spaces, then we definitely recommend that you do that. The library is a really nice place to work, and there are lots of other nice study spaces across the campus for you to make use of as well. A bit more information about the start of term. I think I mentioned just now that you'll meet with your personal tutor in the first week, and you'll also get to meet the other personal tutees that your personal tutor sees. So you'll meet together as a group, and then you'll have one-to-one meetings with your personal tutor throughout the semester. And those first meetings with your personal tutor, again, will focus on introductions. They'll make sure that you're aware of how to find your way around, that you know what's happening with your timetable, you know what to expect from the different modules that you're taking. But you can also use those sessions to start to plan for the semester. You can set out the goals and objectives that you want to achieve, And you can keep coming back to sort of assess those throughout the semester, to reflect on your progress as you go through. Finally then, in terms of student experience events during semester one, there'll be a number of workshops, I think I already mentioned, on looking at this transition to university life. We'll have essay writing skills sessions, study technique sessions, and looking at how to use the feedback on your assignments effectively, as well as thinking about healthy study habits. So that's really important in terms of achieving the most out of your studies, but also maintaining a good sense of well-being.